Hello and Namaste. I am Ketan Kank from 192 Consulting. In this video, we are going to consider the details of fund. Now, which is this fund? Nothing but Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. The provisions relating to fund are laid under Rule 3 of the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority rules. For the purpose of convenience, I'm going to read out the rules, but this is a vast rule consisting of various sub-rules. So we are only going to consider the sub-rules actually which are applicable to the investors in their reclaiming process. Rest all administrative rules which we really did not go into the details. So let me read out the rules first and then we will reflect deeper into it. The title of Rule 3 is Fund. Sub-rule 1 states the authority shall administer the fund. Now in the previous video we have seen what does it mean when the word authority is used in these rules. It is Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority or the IEPFA. The authority shall administer the fund. So the law empowers the authority, Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, to administer the fund. That's sub-rule number 1. Now what is sub-rule 2? There shall be credited to the fund the following amounts. Now this is actually very important for the investors to understand. The rule 3, sub-rule 2 actually lays down which amounts will be credited to the fund which is being administered by the IEPFA or the authority as per sub-rule 1 of rule 3. I'll read out the list and then we will see which amounts or which funds get credited to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. 1. All amounts payable as mentioned in clauses A to N of subsection 2 of section 125. Now, in the earlier video, we have taken a precise, clear and a deeper look at what clauses A to N of subsection 2 of section 125 states. So we are not going to go deeper into this, or we are not going to take a closer look into this. In this video, our audience is advised to refer to the earlier videos so that they'll get to understand the intricacies or the deep legal provisions of section 125. Next, all shares in accordance with subsection 6 of section 124. This has also been dealt with in the earlier videos which relates to section 124 of the Act. All grants, fees and charges received by the authority under these rules. So grants, fees and charges received by the authority. So the authority is entitled to receive grants from the government, fees and charges, and that shall be credited to this fund. All sums received by the authority from such other sources as may be decided upon by the central government. So central government is authorized to decide the sources which amount has to be created, and if that amount is to be created, the fund is eligible to accept the amount as per this rule. All income earned by the authority in any year. So if the authority earns any income apart from the above, if the authority by any operational virtue earns any income, then that income is also credited to the fund. So there is a difference, there is an inherent difference between the authority and the fund. Normally, it becomes very confusing while using these two terms as IEPFA and IEPF. IEPFA is the authority and IEPF as in is the Investor Education and Protection Fund which is administered by the authority. This is very important for the investors to understand because it gets confused. Both the terms are used interchangeably. That is something which is not advisable. So, if the authority earns any income, that income has to be credited to the fund. All shares held by the authority in accordance with proviso of subsection 9 of section 90 of the Act and all resultant benefits arising out of such shares. So, section 90 subsection 9 is actually not does not fall within the purview or scope of these videos, so we are not going to take a deeper look into it. If the investors have any questions on those provisions, you can reach out to us separately. All amounts payable as mentioned in subsection 3 of section 10B of the Banking Companies Act. So that is also not relevant to our topics or the subject of these videos. So we are not going to take a closer look at this. Then there are a lot of other provisions of these rules which deal with the administration of the funds. Now, For the investors to understand, we are only going to focus ourselves on the shares which get credited as per clauses A to N of subsection 2 of section 125, which actually deal with the non-claiming of the dividend or the dividends and the corporate benefits remaining unclaimed on particular securities. Apart from them, there are a lot of administrative things under this authority. There are a lot of other securities which actually go into this, and there are a lot of aspects of this fund, but we are going to focus only on the unclaimed part of the investments. So, by the virtue of provisions of Rule 3, two things are important to understand. First, the rule the Rule 3, which is titled as fund, is administered by the authority, which means Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, and sub rule 2 states the amount of dividends and shares will get transferred to the fund which is being administered by the authority. So this was about Rule 3 of the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority rules. Should you have any query relating to reclaiming of your investments, or you have any query relating to the transposition of the names, addition, deletions, or dematerialization of securities, you may feel free to reach out to us. You may reach out to us by simply marking your comments in the comment section of this video, or you can write an email to us on info@192.in. Till the time, this is Ketan Kank signing off. Thank you so much.